Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. U.S. News, GOP subpoenas Federal Bureau of Investigation over whistleblowers' claims about Biden. This is very huge. Oversight Committee subpoenas Federal Bureau of Investigation over alleged criminal scheme. This is the Washington Free Beacon involving Biden and foreign national. This is the beginning of impeachment. Republicans on Wednesday subpoenaed Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Christopher Wray for records and testimony related to a whistleblower's claim that Joe Biden engaged in a criminal scheme with a foreign national when he was vice president. Representative James COMER, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, issued the demand to Wray for FBI records from June 2022, COMER and Senator Chuck Grassley assert that the document, a Federal Bureau of Investigation Form FD 1023, quote, allegedly details an arrangement involving an exchange of money for policy decisions. The unidentified person who spoke out provided the disclosure to Grassley's office. This is the latest in a string of people who have come forward with allegations about the president and his son Hunter. An IRS investigator has offered to provide Congress with information that shows that Biden's Justice Department has essentially made everything political. The director of the Washington, D.C. think tank has also claimed he provided the Federal Bureau of Investigation with evidence in 2019 related to the Biden family dealing with an energy company in the most populous country in the world. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Washington Free Beacon article and U.S. News. He will be forced to testify as well, or they'll ask, or I should say demand through the subpoena that he testifies as well. So it's pretty clear cut. This is the beginning of impeachment. Okay? This is the beginning of impeachment, ladies and gentlemen. So again, the impeachment is not removal in the Senate. Okay, Bill Clinton was not removed. Oh, they couldn't remove me. And President Trump, former President Trump, was not removed. The impeachment is very important, okay, because they impeached Trump for the stupidest reasons. One was the audacity to ask another country if Biden committed a crime, which, of course, we all know he almost certainly did. So that was essentially, they were absolutely indignant. They're always so indignant when they're accused of criminal wrongdoing or when there's an attempt to find out about their criminality. So the Democratic Party not only doesn't have a functioning primary, just ask Bernie Sanders, but goes to bat and covers up any possible felony criminal activity. We know that the New York Post broke this story years back, and Twitter, of course, the prior regime at Twitter, silenced it because it hurt the Democratic Party. Not because it was just part of protocol or the way they did things. What happens is, like, for example, Twitter, before Elon Musk, made its rules to suit the Democratic Party, and then when they enforced their rules, they said, well, we were just enforcing rules. It just so happens to always coincide with what benefits Democrats. So, I mean, of course, you could always, this kind of circular logic, this you can always tailor every single corporate protocol or guideline to help one political party or ideology. Okay? So when they say, well, we just had to suspend or silence or censor 200,000 plus conservative accounts. We were just following the rules. Yeah, you made the rules benefit one political side to the detriment of the other political side. You didn't allow people to just voice their opinion or their viewpoints. Okay, and you certainly didn't allow the New York Post to break a story that showed clear violations of the law. You had a New York Post email within that laptop. The laptop shows felonies. Okay, these felonies are not being looked at by government agencies, perhaps even the Bureau, because the Democratic Party would be negatively impacted. Okay? Democrats get away with infinitely more than Trump ever could. With Trump, they just fabricate things. I mean, you have Bureau employees using a dossier Clinton purchased to investigate Trump. Really, there's no, I mean, you can dislike Donald Trump all you like, okay, all you want, but at the end of the day, you can't set up and frame somebody with a quote-unquote dossier or a compilation of complete nonsense and lies and have a government agency utilize that, okay? I mean, everybody sees the aggregate or the bird's eye view, okay? The media and Democrats have defended the indefensible when it comes to Trump because they despise him so much. So, but really, what does he stand for? Trump doesn't stand for the things that Democrats think that he does. He stands for a foreign policy that removes Americans from never-ending military conflict. And he stands for record low poverty and record highs in household median income. And real wages up. Real wages are down under Trump. So, I mean, under Biden. Real wages were up under Trump. Real wages are down under Biden. And unfortunately, we'll see more bank runs. So this economy is unfortunately ready to tank. There's so much to talk about in terms of foreign policy and economic policy. This is a dreadful, like, if there wasn't such a public relations push to prop up, like, when Trump was presiding over a roaring economy, it was still the sky is falling. Now the economy is on a tightrope now, and the articles are, oh, well, it's, pretty good, I guess. Pretty good, yeah. And you have a laptop email, like I was saying, from the New York Post that said, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf, Hunter? Okay? These are clear felonies, clear violations of the law. And then you have money, 150 plus financial transactions deemed suspicious activity reports by the institutions. So it's like, I mean, you see what's going on, and if the tables were turned, Trump would have already been convicted, okay? And he would have actually deserved the conviction. But the tables aren't turned. The system protects one political side. It's pretty obvious. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. There will be impeachment. There will be accountability from a political sense and legal sense. Impeachment is going to take place, and this is the beginning of impeachment. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. My super thanks is below next to the like and the share buttons, and my Patreon is below as well. He's going to testify before Congress. FBI Director Wray he's going to testify again. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and James COMER, the House Oversight Committee, this is absolutely huge. Okay, you have James COMER, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan. These are all people, Ron Johnson, Chuck Grassley, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. These are all people, I mean, you have people like Ted Cruz who are kind of like 1 foot with Trump, 1 foot with, he's kind of like a better version of Lindsey Graham, if that can exist. But now you have the entire Republican Party. It's a populist Republican Party. They're going to look and they're going to say, okay, you know what? The media machine, you know, everybody from MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, Vanity Fair, Esquire, New Yorker, New York Magazine, like I said, Atlantic, all of Jimmy Kimmel, tech platforms, they're not going to simply just admit that they were covering up for Democrats. They're going to continue to do so. They're going to call Biden's impeachment a fake impeachment, and they're the ones who started all of this. Okay, they went after Trump with such a vengeance, but he didn't commit a crime. Now just a mere investigation shows felonies with Hunter and Biden. Give me your thoughts below. Huge, huge development. Hit subscribe.